Hi, my name is Michael Deck, and today I'll be talking to you about a pallet that I found at our local Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. The pallet was a stringer class pallet that contained 56 bags of 30-pound Preen Plus mulch. The overall dimensions of the pallet were 48 inches by 40 by 4.75 inches in height. The end deck boards were 5.5 inches wide, 40 inches in length, and 0.75 inches in thickness. The interior deck boards ranged from 3.75 inches to 3.5 inches in width, were all 40 inches in length and 0.75 inches in thickness. There are approximately 2-inch gaps between all of the 8 deck boards, and there were 5 bottom deck boards which had dimensions of 3.75 inches by 40 inches by 0.75 inches. The opening height where the forklift would enter was 3.25 inches. The location and dimensions of the first notch were 6.5 inches from the front of the pallet and were 9 inches in length and 2 inches in height. The locations and dimensions of the second notch on either side were 32 inches from the front and were 9 inches in length and 2 inches height. The stringer dimensions were 48 inches long, 1.5 inches wide, and 3.5 inches in height. The original unit load specifications, there were 56 bags of mulch weighing 30 pounds each, which totaled a total load of 1,680 pounds. They were stacked in an interlocked pattern and had overall unit load dimensions of 48 inches by 44 inches in width and 62 inches in height. There was an approximate 2-inch overhang that was randomly located around the pallet. Here you can see an example of the product itself within its bag, an example of pallet damage that had occurred during the shipment process, as well as another angle of the corner of the pallet. The first pallet alternative that I designed had fewer deck boards, down to 5 from the original 8. With this, I increased the deck board thickness from its original 0.75 inches up to 0.813 to improve strength characteristics when racked across the length. This allowed me to reduce the overall lumber use within the pallet down to 16.8 board feet while increasing strength characteristics overall. Here you can see that the racked across the length strength went from 1,470 pounds up to 1,834 pounds, with the stringer being the main weakness for this value. Also, top deck boards played a part in the overall strength characteristics, which could be improved upon, as you will see in my next alternative. Unit load compatibility with this design is good, as the interlocked pattern matches up with the deck board locations on the top row. The second pallet alternative I came up with again used fewer deck boards, down from the original 8 to 5. The deck board dimensions changed just slightly, remaining at the same original thickness but varying in width across the top row. The bottom deck boards kept the same thickness as the original unit load pallet, but varied in width from 3.75 inches up to 5.5 in the current design. Again, this pallet design allowed me to reduce the overall board feet down from 16.8 to 15.9, allowing for significant savings in the cost of the pallet. Although my second pallet alternative is not as strong as my first, the improved strength characteristics are able to withstand the load placed on the pallet when racked across the length. There are a few weaknesses within the pallet, mainly the stringer and the top deck boards, but they're not significant enough to not be able to withstand the load. The unit load compatibility with this design is also good because the interlocked pattern matches up with the locations of the top deck boards with this design. Thank you for your time. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Thank you.